Wisteria, energy, twister. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and Filipino folk tales. This is called the Silver Shower. Every night in Manila, when the bells of the city boom out the Angelus and lights begin to appear in the windows, the walks are filled with people hurrying toward the bay. In the streets, hundreds of carriages, their lamps twinkling like fireflies, speed quickly by, as the cocheros urge on the little Filipino ponies, all abound for the luneta to hear the evening concert. Of course, in my language, it's luneta, but I'm not sure it's that. Lunata, I think it is. Lunata in Filipino, so a pretty place is the Lunata, the garden spot of the city. It is laid out in elliptical form, and its green lawns are covered with benches for the people. A broad driveway surrounds it, and hundreds of electric lights transform the night into day. A bandstand is located at each end of the oval, and at night, concerts are given by the military bands. Thousands of people gather to listen to the music. The bright uniforms of officers and men, the white dresses of American ladies, the black mantillas of the dark-eyed senoritas, and the gaily coloured camisas of the Filipino girls show that the beauty and chivalry of Manila have assembled at the concert. The band plays many beautiful selections, and finally closes with the Star-Spangled Banner. At once every head is bared, and all stand at rigid attention till the glorious old song is finished. Then the musicians disperse, the carriages drive away, and people return to their homes. Many, however, linger on the benches or stroll along the beach, watching the water curling upon the shore. As the waves reach land, a soft light seems to spring from them and to break into thousands of tiny stars. Now and then, someone idly skips a stone over the water. Where it touches, a little fountain of liquid fire springs upwards, and the water ripples away in gleaming circles that, growing wider and wider, finally disappear into a flash of silvery light. Of all the beautiful islands, the water of Manila Bay at night ranks among the first. And those who ask why it flashes and glows in this way are told the story of the silver shower that saved the Pasig villagers from the Moro Dato Bung Tao. Hundreds of years ago, messengers came hurrying from the south of Luzon with the news that the great Dato Bung Tao, with many ships and men, was on his way to the island to burn the villages and carry the people away into slavery. Then great fear came into the hearts of the people. They had much fear in their hearts, for the fierce Dato was the terror of the eastern seas, and all the southern islands were reported captured. Nevertheless, they resolved to defend their home and save their people from shame and slavery. The news proved true, for the Moro chief landed in a great army on the shore of the Bay of Batangas, and his fierce followers, with fire and sword, started north to lay waste the country. For a time they drove all before them, but soon Luzon was up in arms against them, and a great number of warriors hurried southward to battle with the Moros. All tribal feeling was forgotten, and Tagalos, Maca babies, Igorotes, and Pangasin nanas hurried southward in thousands. The Moros presently found themselves checked by a large army of men determined to save their homes or to die fighting. Near the present town of Imus, in Cavite, a battle was fought, and the Moros were defeated. They then retreated southward, but great numbers of Vicolas and Tingu Ianas rushed up from the southern part of the island and blocked their way. On the shore of the lake Bonbon, the final battle was fought. The Moros were killed to a man, and with great rejoicing the tribes returned north and south to their homes. But in the meantime, Bung Tao had not been idle. After landing his men with his 200 ships, he set sail northward, never doubting that his army would sweep all before it. A typhoon carried his fleet far south into the China Sea, but he steered again for Luzon, and 3 weeks later was in sight of Corregidor Island. He sailed down Manila Bay and drew up his fleet in front of the villages on the Pasig River, the present site of Manila. On the shore the people gathered in terror, for all the warriors had gone to fight the invading army, and only old men and women and children remained in the villages. Hastily, they called a council and finally decided to send a messenger out to Moro chief with all the gold and things of value they possessed, thinking this would satisfy the fierce Dato and save their villagers from the harm. Accordingly, the women gave their rings and bracelets, the men gave their bangles and chains. Everything of value was taken from the houses, even the temples of prayer were stripped, and all the ornaments taken. So great was the fear of the people that they even sent the gold statue of the great god captain, that was the pride of the tribe, whose members came miles to worship it. Bung Tao was preparing to land and attack the town with his sailors. The messenger in his canoe came alongside the ship and was at once taken before the Dato. Trembling with fear, the old man, with signs, begged for mercy for the people on the shore. He pointed to the presents and offered them to Bung Tao. Then, placing the golden image of the captain at the feet of the Moro and bowing low, he again pleaded for the women and children. Bung Tao laughed in scorn at the offer. On his island was gold enough to satisfy his people. He needed slaves to work in the fields, for it was beneath the dignity of such warriors as himself and his companions to labour. So he kicked the messenger from him, and with a curse picked up the sacred gold image and threw it far over the water. Instantly the sky grew dark, and the blackest night covered the land. The messenger felt himself seized by invisible hands and carried to shore. Then suddenly the heavens opened, and a shower of silver fire rained on the Moro boats. In vain the Moro tried to escape. The fire hemmed them in on every side. Many leaped from burning ships into boiling water. When the darkness cleared, boats and Moros had completely disappeared. Joyfully the people on the shore ran to the temple of worship to pray to the captain. What was their surprise to find the golden image of the god in its usual place, and around it the bracelets and rings offered to the Moros. When the warriors, a few days later, returned from their great victory in the south, they could hardly believe the story of the wonderful escape of their people. But at night, when they saw the Harato for dull waters dashing and breaking on the shore in crystal and silver light, they knew that it was Captain who had saved their homes and their families. The villages are a thing of the past. The modern city of Manila now stands on the banks of the sea. The nights here are very beautiful. The breeze it sighs softly through the palm trees, and the golden moon gleams on the waters of Manila Bay. On the shore the waves break gently, and little balls of silver light go rushing up the beach. Wise men say that the water is full of phosphorus, but they have never heard the story of the silver shower. The end. And I need to make another note in there as well. So in English, when we say captain, it is spelled Captain, but in Filipino in the book, I have noticed it's captain, Captan. I'm not sure, guys, if it has the same meaning, and I'd like for someone to let me know if that's the case. Thank you for listening, and many blessings. Wisteria, energy, twister.